Hey everyone, whoever has joined already, we are just giving it a little bit more time for people to join in. And once we have like 50 to 60% registered or attendees in, we'll kick things off. So for now, just relax. It's gonna take probably like a minute. I would say like 60 to 80 seconds is usually the average. Klidně nás mutni ještě. All right, we're getting very, very close, very close as people are joining in. You are here at the right place. You've connected to the right place. We are going to begin the webinar in a short moment. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. How about you, our tech guy? Are we recording? Recording on? Beautiful. Welcome to our webinar. Welcome to the discussion. My name is Lukas Hubka. I will be your host for today. This is a webinar, or you have successfully joined a webinar where we are going to dig into the eyes of a COO. We're going to pull them out and we're going to use them ourselves to get a bit of a different perspective. This is a first in a series of webinars that we're planning on doing for specific teams or specific departments focused on the AI utilization to improve such teams. If your eyes look at the screen right now and you see that I am not here alone, that is correct. I'm joined by Daniel Zach. He's the COO of Easy Software, the COO of Easy8. Welcome to my cave.
Thank you, Lucas. I'm happy to be here. Welcome, guys, and I'm looking forward for today.
Beautiful. In my point of view, COO is like the ultimate project manager. There's like a constant need for improvements, constant need to improve something or optimize. We've made a lot of workflow optimizations through automations and AI. Little spoiler alert, what are we going to share in these upcoming 35 to 40 minutes? Over 50 automated processes, but how? A few dozens of man days saved a week, but how have we done that? We're going to talk about that step by step. I believe we do have also some diagrams to share because I've kind of peeked into the presentation, and there's going to be like a teaser demo of one of the agents. Now, my role as a Lucas on this webinar is quite obvious. I'm going to ask questions. Some of them have been collected through our account managers or from our clients. Some will be delivered by the universe, which will get through an inspiration that I will get throughout this little talk. There's also a Q&A button in your Zoom application. If you want to use that, there is going to be, most likely, if we're doing our timekeeping correctly, there's going to be a Q&A session at the end where we will get to address some of those questions. And as you have probably noticed by now, this webinar is also being recorded and it's going to be shared with, or you can share it with any of your peers or colleagues later. Now, the title, the COO Lens on Workflow Automation and AI Agents, Path to Smarter Operations. I have been sent on a mission here. You are the COO. You've gone through a lot of optimizations recently. I want to know not just how have you done that? Not just was a lot of focus, bro, but like some more insight. What is your goal for today?
My goal is to share inspiration, share practical experience, and since I was the person responsible for managing the transition at Easy Software, hopefully I'll be able to give enough insights so our audience can take initiative in their own hands.
Perfect. I've mentioned time. I'll try to be our timekeeper, even though probably not sure if I'm not writing checks my mouth can cash, but we'll see. If I ever jump in to speed something up, don't take it personally. It's just a timekeeping thing, maybe a little personally, but not too much. I've mentioned that we're kicking off a series of webinars. I was instructed to invite all of you to future ones as well. There's going to be several webinars in the upcoming weeks or months. One for AI agents for development teams, AI for security conscious organizations, AI for support teams, for project management teams, and then AI for sales team. Each session dedicated to a different team, different department. If you're from any of those and you would like to join that in the future, feel free to do so. They will provide kind of like a deeper dive, so stay tuned. Now back to you then, since we've got you here. Smarter operations sounds terribly sexy, but I can imagine that everybody wants it, but what's really behind it? How big of a role do automations and AI play in smarter operations?
It can play a huge role. I don't really think that smarter operation is something that must include AI and automations, but they bring such a big benefit that I really think they should. And naturally, that was the way how we approached it because we saw the potential and we kind of worked our way through it. And it wasn't just about adopting AI, the job was done in our case. And I believe in anytime you're doing transformation of this kind, the case and the flow of the transition is much more complex and a lot of variables are there.
You kind of passed me the ball because I've read in between the lines, and I would like to start with the impact, if that's possible, because some of some of the people told us that it's good to start with the feedback, with the impact. The COO operations and innovations, kind of your bread and butter, I would assume. This webinar is mostly for COOs, CIOs, or those roles that are looking to scale or optimize in a larger scale. What was the strategy that kind of drove this initiative or this transformation? I would love to give our audience something that they can relate to in their positions.
I'm glad we are going from top to bottom. Yeah, starting with strategical perspective. For us, the strategy was pretty easy in terms of what we are going to do. It was, implementing AI into daily operations. And we made a decision that we want to actually transform our culture towards AI, meaning creating something called hybrid organization. And in practice, it basically means that you have AI agents and AI solutions part of your resources. You have digital workers, basically your team buddies are digital guys that are helping you. And the crucial part, why I'm saying it's transformation of a culture, is because the goal was to change the mindset towards AI. So anyone in the company, so the teams are going to be the one driving the innovations on themselves, looking for new use cases and improving the solutions.
Right. Sounds good. If I may just sort of like circle it back to the impact itself. Full disclosure, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to dig up some hard facts, because if you look through that lens, I can imagine there's dozens of people on the other side just sort of shouting, give us the numbers, give us the numbers. Can we give them numbers?
Sure, I have prepared numbers, just the high level numbers.
Sure, it works.
I will pull up the screen really fast. Yes, I'm there.
There we go.
So yeah, this is just a banner, right? Sorry, I'm one slide back. You already mentioned there is a series, and now to the numbers. So these are the result numbers, which we found out. This is basically what happened after we went through the first phase, which was like 6 months. It was within the 6 months what we did, and to go one by one, one of the focuses or one of the targets was to find the right processes to enhance or automate. These went up to 53 processes, and it was not only about enhancing or automating. Some processes, simple processes, were automated, some were enhanced, some were simplified. And the consequence of this was happy for me, was saving or creating more time. Why I'm saying saving or creating is because we stopped doing some stuff and we started to do something that we wanted to do but weren't able to. And currently we are at 30 man days a week. That kind of represents this time. And for us, it's pretty huge. It's about almost 10% because we are 60 to 70 people company. So it is like when we would hire 6 new people into the team. And on the global scale, for me, I'm the metrics guy. So we have the metrics, how to measure the efficiency of our value chain. And on a global scale, we kind of increased that by 21%, comparing before and after implementation.
I'll be honest, like the instruction that I got when coming here was feel free to challenge it. So I would love to challenge it just shortly, because to me, honestly, when you're looking at these numbers, someone might get this feeling of like, I get to see on every single website, like these kind of like marketing numbers, right? But what's behind them? So I would love to, you've mentioned like a complex path that was behind it. So I would like to focus on that more more in detail, kind of like what people can relate to in sense of how did we know what to do, how did we choose the right process to focus on, and how to enable basically anyone to do that, ideally on the other side of the camera.
Quite a lot of questions for one sitting. So I will,
Oh, there you go.
yeah, I will try to answer my best. But this is what I really want to share here because I believe that this transition, even on smaller scope, can be done by anyone. It is, but though it is important to understand that you don't have to do it alone, right? And any type of transformation, automations, AI is not exception. There is a different there's a different thing to plan and manage the whole thing, and the other to benefit from it, to use it and try to scale it. And also requires specific experiences, skills, and a dedicated team.
Yeah, I'm smiling just a little bit because I can see like the teeny tiny Easy8 page in it, huh? Because that's obviously that's what you do. That's the Easy8.ai for the people on the other side. Go explore. And I feel like my job as a sales guy, as a sales representative on this call is done. I've done my part.
All right, so this is the last time you did this to me because this is not a sales webinar. So hold your sales horses and let's just get to the insight that people can use on their own.
I will hold my sales horses, but you can either let this sales Mustang run free, or you can finally start explaining the how. There's a John Doe on the other side of it, drowning in FOMO, to kind of like unable to do much about AI, even though they want to. So what would be your recommendation, the initial push or guidance?
All right, stop selling and I will start answering questions.
There you go.
Deal.
All
right, so the beginning of any transformation or change is, it is important to understand because people often miss it. It is about what problem we are trying to solve. So problem clarification, and for us, AI and automations, and I believe for a lot of guys, it's something, okay, it is desired, we want to use it, but we want to know what we're trying to achieve, what we're trying to fix. And this is my pain as a COO, and I've seen its pains to other CEOs I've met and talked about it. And in short, our goal or our daily bread and butter is making sure the operations are effective, we are able to scale it, and we are innovating, but innovating, again, to achieve the goals, which is pretty easily said, but harder to achieve. And the number one obstacle that is there for us or anyone who's trying to make change or improve something is visibility and transparency. So that's the number one thing that should be like a starting point, because I cannot really improve something if I cannot see in it, if I cannot look under the hood. So I need like a map, I need the data so I can evaluate and be pragmatic, but I also need the insights from people. And once I have that visibility, I can actually start, doing the changes.
Right. There was a nice analogy or metaphor that one of our colleagues used. They're going through a renovation of their apartment. They basically said, like trying to fix a pipe in a wall while not knowing where it is, just sort of hammering into the wall on random places, which kind of...
Is it you? Is it you though? You are the one who's just hitting the wall.
Uniquely or quite surprisingly, this wasn't me, but it definitely could fit my persona as well. Do you have any framework to use or share, not to fix pipes in the wall? I mean the transparency and visibility.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully, then you can share how to fix a wall. All right, yeah, I have just to be sharing again, making sure that everyone is seeing that. Nice. Yeah, it's not a fancy framework. It's actually a very simple few step process, applicable not only for AI automations, but for any type of, the way how you can get oriented in what is going on. Process mapping, which can mean having a blueprint or documentations. I prefer diagrams and pictures because if I have a diagram or picture, I can align a group full of stakeholders very quickly because the visual can tell you a lot. And you starting with this, let's say, map, you make sure you have the assets stated there. So inputs, outputs of processes, the responsible people, systems connected, not only teams in organizational way, but also integration of systems. And important, you need to be able to see how it's working. So you need to add metrics there. So what are the metrics in each of the phase? Once you have that, you get to the fun part and to picking what can be better, right? So it is like a evaluation and flagging, and you can use the picture because then you can just draw whatever you want in there. What should be better, what it doesn't work properly, how the design should look differently. And like that, you get to your pain points, you find the frictions, you will see the synergies, and then you just pick your candidates. And to have an example, I have prepared an example here. This is a part of our value chain. This is actually onboarding phase of the value chain. On the left side, there is the initial mapping. So this is how it was before. The diagram is pretty simple. We have orange and red texts there.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, pretty simple. And those texts basically represents what doesn't do as we want to. On the right, there's the after refinement phase where we kind of selected what should be differently, including how would we like to work in the future. And you can also see on the diagram that the colors of text, some of the text changed to green or to blue. It was kind of like a prioritization, what works well or how it should work before. So basically, targets were added there.
So theoretically, you can do the initial mapping for several processes, right? What I've kind of heard in it is something that I relate to with other clients is the tricky part is the candidate selection. Like, even though I can map it, like, how do I identify the best candidate that I can start with, that I can actually, get through and get it done?
It's a great question, and it's kind of like a joke of mine. Like, for prioritization, you need to prioritize what is important for you.
There you go.
So you have a stack of backlog, you have a stack of ideas, and you need to have the right parameters by which you just evaluate them. And for AI automations, I have actually a few simple questions I use. I will share them again on the screen really quickly. But it's basically a combination of being pragmatic and listen to the people, listen to the process itself. And the basic questions are, where the money leaks? So where are we losing money? And it doesn't have to be literally, if we are spending too much time on something, or we have too high cost on something, or we are not able to create such a value, that all leads to basically losing money. The other one is, where is the biggest personal load? So where is the most people? Because if there is a lot of people, it means it's important for us. We do it a lot. So that's one point how to look at it. The other is, if I automate something in a team, when there is like 20 people, those 20 people will be happier, and I can engage them more. Of course, a scrap rate. So basically, where are we failing the most? And very important, what bother people the most? Because those are the things that can have a great effect, not only on efficiency, but also on people happiness. And what I've learned, happy people are just more productive. And very important, there's this last question, but it's not it's last but not least. It's related specifically to AI and automations, because the question is, where is the human touch insignificant? If I rephrase that, is what can be automated fully and people can just disappear from the process,
right?
Because those can be the low-hanging fruits, the apples that you will automate it really quickly and will have basically instant value.
Right. So use your gut, add numbers, ask the right questions. If I sum it up, if I try to sum it up, are you able to tell like which teams are usually have the most potential for this, or maybe like share what we've done internally? Maybe let people learn from our experience.
The team where you put the most care and the most effort, that's the team that can, that will benefit the most. But of course, if our audience will use the questions, you will probably get to the potential in a comparison way.
Right.
For us, as example, to be specific, we are a development company, so our team, our developers, that's a pretty big team. So that was one of our focuses, and something that came up from our finding for the pains and then for solutions. So we started to do automated code reviews. We have implemented workflows that do basic bug fixing. It's doing library updates. On the other hand, sales teams, we just want sales guys, to be the people who are doing the sales people-driven activity towards the clients. So we made sure that we are supporting them as much as possible, like automated outbound, preparation for meetings, lead company enrichments, basically stuff like that. This kind of like preparational stuff, so then they can shine. And help desk support, of course, very big for us because a big load of tickets. So some semi-automations of ticket resolutions, big data ticket analysis. So we're analyzing like 100 tickets every week. All of that counts towards it.
Right. Just a quick side note, if I may. I've actually done a webinar with our colleague Jakub Blažek from Easy8 as well, where we focused much more on the sales part, where we actually presented and demonstrated one or two of our AI agents in sales. And we went quite deep into it as well, like with what tools do we use, what does the outcome look like. There was some like live presentation as well. So in case anyone is interested in the sales part, I'm sure it's going to be like represented again in the series, but it's already on the web. But quick question, on the web you have these like little references from clients. If I would ask you a question, what do you think is the biggest benefit of implementing either automations or AI? Like what would be in that little box? What would be your short opinion on it? Maybe not so short, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not a marketing guy. So if you would be from marketing and you would ask me, I want to put something on the web, I would give you the long story or try to make it short, and he would be the one doing the nice and catchy phrase. But
Then give me something in between. Give me the medium story.
Okay, the medium story. So the quick answer is gaining of additional capacity and abilities. That would be like the short answer, but I would have to provide examples. So you can fully automate or enhance processes that are manual, error-prone, data-rich, that are repeating, or the processes that are long. And the automations are great for optimizing data flows, integrating application, and actually enhancing some basic feature. And AI and agents bring something much more complex. So transforming data into transformation, doing contextual analysis, and at the end, basically creating your own workers. As I mentioned, we basically hired six more people, but we didn't really hire them. We created them, and to be honest, they're much cheaper than if we would hire new guys.
Can imagine. Maybe from a different angle, have you run into scenarios where AI is not a good servant or a good tool?
Yeah, maybe I'm talking like everything can be automated
Well,
or enhanced.
that's
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
I don't want to leave that. I don't want to leave that expression. I don't want to feel like I'm this type of guy. But AI is just not a person. It's not good in using sympathy. It doesn't have the whole context as a people has. It doesn't really read the room well, right? And the funny thing is that AI cannot, even though it's a system, it cannot really control itself. Of course, what we are doing often is having AI doing something and another AI to kind of confront it. But yeah, there is still not, and maybe for a lot of money and a lot of effort, you can create agent which can copy a people, and do the whole working day for them. But I don't really think it's possible.
Not there yet. Is AI like critical to maximize the impact? Because you have automations and AI. Is AI critical in this? Or rather, what is the message towards these like rebellious companies that are like, I'm not gonna do AI. Everybody talks about AI, so I'm not gonna do it because everybody's doing it and I don't want to be like everyone else.
I shouldn't say that, but if you don't want to do it, then don't do it. I mean, the benefits are there and you can use them and harvest them if you want. But even us, we are not jumping straight to the agents right away because automations themselves can be pretty powerful, and there are multiple levels, right? You can integrate something, you can integrate a flow of data, but you can also do like different types of data transformation, preparation of data, and doing what we are basically doing sometimes is we are just creating like a smaller application between the systems or as an additional layer above system, which basically enhance the features of the specific applications. And all of that can be done with AI. Without AI, sorry, without AI.
Right. I saw it on the list of future webinars, the topic of security. Is that something we want to address here today, or do you want to leave that like solely for the dedicated webinar?
The webinar is dedicated for security. So for anyone who is deeply concerned about security, that's the place or that's the webinar that you should be at. Just quick comments. There are two ways how we are addressing that. First, we are focusing on using Azure AI because it's placed in Germany on German servers and it's fully UI compliant. So that's one thing. The other one, we still prefer on-premises solutions if client needs it, even for the automations and agent layer.
That was kind of important for me. From like all these expos around Europe, was like data sovereignty and EU compliance and stuff like that. So we're gonna have answers for that. Nice. Let's let our security guys handle security. Let's say we have our candidates that need to be automated. Let's go like a little bit deeper level below. Like where do they actually start with it? Like what's their task? Let's break it down into little tasks.
It's very similar to custom development process, basically. So you're starting with a user story definition, In these terms, it means like you describe the process that you are doing. It is the best if it's done by someone who's actually doing the process manually, and you do that, and then you have kind of like a manual how to build it, and then you start with a simpler flow, and adding basically building it up. And we do that, or it recommend to do that iteratively. So make sure you validate the results with the client or the one who asked for the automation, and then you just scale the solution. And as I mentioned, we do not jump to agents at the first step. We basically combine and gradually build up enough user stories and scenarios, so then we can create the agent for, let's say, one specific area.
And how do you get these actual user stories from these teams? Well, I'm asking because we've done it internally and we've just done surveys, and I didn't feel like the surveys, but because people didn't really have the capacity to imagine what is possible. So how would you do it with a fresh team? Like how would you
Yeah, the capacity to imagine, that's you can try to come to your team and say, okay, let's automate and use AI. So what do you guys want? What are your wishes? And for someone who is not so deep in AI and all the capabilities, there are basically often two extremes. One who knows like ChatGPT and can really imagine that it would do something for him in a matter of process or in daily work. And there are the others who have like we call it AI dreams internally. If someone comes with AI dreams with extreme expectations, we just tag it, put it to backlog, and wait for the technology to catch up with our imagination. Yeah, but we address that through AI Canvas workshops. So these are workshops designed to basically find the user stories. These are within the team. And through that workshops, we are looking at the daily struggles, daily routines, and kind of like getting the ideas. I also showing a lot of stuff so that people can gain the inspiration for that. And one additional thing besides the workshop is selecting champions. That's what we did. We selected one or more champions in each team, onboarded him into the process. So then he was, and currently these people are the ones who are encouraging the whole team to bring more ideas, to use it more. And it also gives us something which is super important for creating workflows with added value. And that's the context about the process and about the business that they are doing. So these are like the two main.
You've mentioned agents. I have a note here that you can actually talk a little bit more about those agents, and I think it's nice to show stuff. So what agents do we currently have, if I may?
We currently have 4 agents that are running on the production. And as I mentioned, these agents came to life basically by adding a lot of needs and a lot of user stories together. And these are currently covering the 4 specific areas. The first one is a sales agent. So basically the partner through the whole sales cycle. We have a controlling agent. So that's the agent, that's the guy that is deep in data and context. Then there is a personal agent, which is basically like a personal assistant, helping you with emails, inquiries, calendar, stuff like that. And last but not least, development agent. That's basically the one guy in the team that likes to do a code review.
Yeah, there you go. I have a note here, and the note says, ask Dan to show something live. I have no further information. Do you care to elaborate?
Yes, because since I'm also building the automations, I enjoy to demonstrate the capabilities, and I have something special which no one's seen, even internally.
Is it because you finished it at 2 a.m. this morning, or how did it happen?
I'm not going to answer. But let's take a look, and this is also can be like a inspiration what the agent can look like. This is our team's channel. So we have this guy called Easy8 agent, and he's the guy who can help me with a bunch of stuff. I will just try to initiate the conversation. Hopefully he will answer me. Yes. All right, we are on a good path. So, and the agent is basically hooked to this chat, and he has certain capabilities. And where we are starting is like a teaser. I am piloting this right now. I can ask him a bunch of stuff. I can give him, I can prompt him to do different scenarios. Currently, what I'm working with is just a simple flow of what I do basically every day. So let's get the tasks assigned to me, assigned to Daniel Zach, and he should now have the capability to, it's just going to be popping popping really quickly. Yeah, he's just returned it. So he just looked into his Redmine to the demo application, of course, and he returned me based on the query I just entered, which was basically tasks which are open that are on me. So the other thing I usually look for is, are there any tasks after due date? And what you can see here, how the agent works, it has a context, right? So I initiate the conversation and he already knows I'm asking for Daniel Zach task. And you can see I am perfect person, basically, in terms of this demonstration.
Here.
That's why I'm here. What we are adding there a lot is basically this, I call it like a reality check. So I can actually look at the query that was used and I can see he is not lying. So there are no tasks on me currently. But let's change the scenario, and I'm looking to performance of some of my people. So what about Lukas Hupka? And again, he's using the context, so he knows I'm looking for tasks that are after due date.
Are you gonna do me dirty, as they say?
I just, the agent is doing dirty, and he just showed.
I can't really read it from here, so I don't know
what there is. So we can see that Lukas Hupka has 3 open tasks after due date. Okay, so something's wrong with Lukas. And now let's say I'm building this flow further. So one of the things that we are having implemented is like a controlling mechanism for analyzing the activity in the applications. So what I want is send me performance review of Lukas Hupka. I want to make sure that it will get you. So I will name you.
Just a quick disclaimer. This is like a staged application. This is not a real life application of us. Otherwise, there would be more overdue tasks. It wouldn't be just 3.
Yeah, yeah. And since you said it, it's a demo application, so we don't use any sensitive data. But this is one type of response that I can get. Right. So there is a performance report, which is kind of predefined. So the agent knows what to look for. And he knows that in the last 30 days, there you had 3 tasks assigned, missed 3 due dates. So you're actually 100% late. You had 0 updates, 0 billable hours. And then there is a contextual review. That's the additional value. The first part here could be done without agent because that's basically just a data analysis, right. Or fetching the right data. The second part is the contextual review. So that's something that needs to be done by LLM or agent or AI. So it basically says in last 30 days, Lukas Hupka has no activity records. Makes sense because I created your profile yesterday. Based on the data, he was probably out of office. So you can see he's doing conclusions, trying to find a
I was preparing for this webinar. I wasn't able to do anything else, so that's why.
And what is funny, and that's during the prompting, you can kind of adjust it, how he thinks about it. So he already is thinking like, okay, he may have a vacation, but I did not find a vacation, so it's letting me know that you hadn't have approved vacation. Right. And then just a summary that all your tasks are after due date and include no comments or updates. And of course, we're adding the disclaimer just to manage the expectations. So obviously, if there are no data, there is no big thing to find.
So it's kind of like in dummy terms, it looks kind of like a specific GPT just focused on the conversational type. It just reminds me of a GPT. The only difference is it doesn't like comment you, great question, amazing question. What a great thing you have to ask me.
You said GPT, and this is one step further than GPT can do right now, especially for Redmine. Because what I just did, we are going to this flow, right? I'm looking at myself, then I look at you, and I'm not satisfied. I want to create a task and kind of like, let you know, hey, Lukas, I see you, I'm late. So I just want to create a task, and this is one way how to do that. We have multiple ways how to create a tasks from chats, but this is one which allows us to be very precise. And I get this quick form, and I can do this even, I don't know, from mobile phone. While I'm not driving the car, I'm running the. Let's say I'm in a public transportation and I want to update a few tasks, or I create a task. Sure. I can do here. So I will just give you a task. Lukas, do something. I put assignee. This form is inline, so it actually reads from the project I pre-selected. In other scenarios, I could select the project as well. I will add due date. I want you to do it right now. Priority, of course, is top. And Lukas, do you even work here? All right, submit, back to the chat, and I can see it's actually pretty fast, the creating stuff, and I can check. Here's the task.
There we go.
Look, there's another task that will be late. So yeah.
Is that a
so
due date?
There's the due date, and it's for today. So
There
you
you
have a
go.
couple hours to finish it. Yeah. So this was basically like a little teaser how this agent can work and what can it do for you. This was basically a combination of multiple actions that I do every day,
Right.
so it can be adjusted, and that's how this can work even for you, because it's all about the right prompt and the right scenarios.
And based on the input form, it's through an A10, all of it, right?
Yes, this is running on an A10.
All right. So a little bit of a demonstration, at least. I mean, it took me for a ride, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I think I've covered my questions. We are getting closer to the end, so I would love to ask you for a quick review, as in like, what would you say has been the most significant benefit for you personally that you experience day by day?
Mm-hmm. I'm happy that you asked for what I benefit for, because all the questions about on me as a COO is okay. How can this whole company or can this process? Why does it? Okay, so what I benefit from the most, I would say the advanced reporting. As I mentioned, I am the clarity guy. I wanna see how the things are going. What we are doing, we are pulling different type of data from different sources, such as Redmine, Power BI, HubSpot, and we can create complex structured reports with context. And we do that automatically. So basically our managers doesn't have to do reports anymore. It has different types of use, such as that each manager has its own workflow, so they have custom reports. I can ask for the KPIs for the metrics basically anytime. I don't have to wait for the manager to put it out for me. Pretty big time saver is preparation for one-on-ones, because I have a lot of to say to the person, right, on a personal level. I'm happy with him to give feedbacks, but I still need to prepare something based on data, like performance, how many tickets have you served, what is your billable time, stuff like that basically. So that's one, and the other is basically what I just showed you, the ability to do a lot of stuff either through Teams or from Redmine, because our company, we are spending the most of the time in Redmine or in Teams. So we're kind of like moving all these applications and all these processes that usually are done, face to face or sending emails. We kind of like initiate them from the applications we use the most. And the last, I would forget about it, is again the clarity into return on investment, ROI. And that's actually the native N8N feature. And I will share you how our statistics look like. And I can just in real time, I can see, this is from last 14 days, I can see a different bunch of stuff, like how many productions there were, and etc. But important for me is how many times it saved / created. So that's a pretty big thing for me, because anytime I can look at it and I can know whether we are making improvements or not.
And when you're running some like proof of concepts or pilots, it's like a nice thing for the internal sponsor of the AI ambassador within the company to use to advocate.
Yeah.
Can imagine.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's just it is less work for us, because we don't have to explain to stakeholders or the clients, hey, it really works and it saves you time, because they are the ones who are defining how much the process costs, basically.
And they see it. What would be your final message to the audience? Let's say to the COOs, CIOs, operation managers, this kind of audience.
Since I expected this will be the questions, I have prepared a slide which basically like covers the main benefits I perceive as a COO, and it's basically like repeating or overview of what I've been talking about during this webinar.
The summary.
So it's like it's elimination of waste and manual work. So the administrative work basically that has to be done, but it doesn't really create value towards the clients, let's say. Higher standardization of processes, because if you are using agents or systems, they don't get tired. Of course, they shoot error. If you have error handling, it's not such an issue, but they are not irritated. They are not tired. They're just following the rules as you prompted. Connecting multiple sources together on the level of multiple data and contextual analysis. I already mentioned the reports. I mentioned the return on investments. Very important thing for me is that I can decide how much I want to affect the process, whether I want to keep it on people and just give them the 10% of help in the preparation of the data, or if I really want to just tell the guy, hey, I want you to be selling, so go out there and talk to people. Just let me know what you need. And through automations AI, there's high chance I can do that for you. Which affects the value chain, critically, because the biggest issue is you have limited resources and you want to allocate them smartly.
And then it's up to the people to adapt to the situation and actually, utilize their freed up time to something proactive. But that's a completely different story. That's like a different discipline, I feel like, for us people in our working years.
It is critical to think about that, and it's mostly about change management, but this webinar was not about change management.
Right.
But if you would be interested on, let's say, my experiences or insights into change management, I hosted a webinar a couple of weeks ago, so you can check that. But yeah, change management is a huge part of this. And some elements or some things I mentioned today are closely related to change management, such as picking champions.
As they should. So is that it? Would that be your summary? Can we move forward?
Yes.
Because to be honest, we're 2:42 our time. We've gone through what we wanted to go through, right? Like you had something prepared, I had something prepared, I got some instructions from my colleagues. Feels like I've gone through it all. I'm not in Zoom myself, but I'm being fed some of the questions through our teams from one of our colleagues that is actually joined to the Zoom webinar. I have a question here. We should have probably mentioned that already. Are mentioned automations, probably what you've been showing, just for Easy Redmine?
No.
Which is good.
But you would like to elaborate, right, on the answer? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I would love to.
No, it's not on Easy Redmine. We use Easy Redmine the most, and it is basically our product, product of Easy Software. Easy8 is just helping. We are basically like helping Easy Software to address their pains, address their needs. So we are presenting a lot of stuff on Easy Redmine because it's like first-hand software that we're starting with would benefit us the most. But the workflows are transferable. It doesn't mean it's like plug and play, but we are working with Jira as well. We are working with different work and project management softwares. We are working with ERPs quite a lot. Painful, but we do that. We do that. It's painful and technical perspective, or from user perspective, it's actually pretty nice. And we're doing a lot of CRMs, and basically it's just about finding the right spot in the whole tech stack. So no, just for Easy Redmine.
Just a quick question, because I know our clients. Legacy tools, yes, no, maybe. Yes.
Yes, go legacy. That's actually something I was talking about in a change management webinar. A lot of people are perceiving AI, automation, digitization, whatever you pick, as something that is going to destroy. That means you have to drop your old ways. My approach is, if it works and it does the work for you, and you believe it, and you invested a lot of time and finances into it, you can just keep it. And that's the beauty of this, approach of automate and adding AI into stuff, because once it has an access, meaning like an API, it can be hooked to it. So basically what we are also doing is helping companies to maintain the legacy system, just making them better and connected to the new tools they decided to use.
So not necessarily pushing Easy Redmine. I think it's kind of an important message.
I shouldn't saying that, but in Easy Software, I'm COO, so I'm
right?
Looking at the operations at Easy8, I'm the guy who's trying to offer some alternative.
I have another question here. We probably should have asked to include who asked it as well in our team's conversation. We're gonna do that for the next webinar. Can I try out any of your agents?
If you ask for it, yes, you can. We currently don't have any public demos for, let's say, the agent I was looking, or the agents we have in production. Of course, in matter of Easy Redmine has some AI native features now, so you can test that. There's actually a public demo for that. to test our agents, meaning agents that Easy8 is creating, all you have to do is ask, and we can prepare a demo for you. It will probably lead to kind of like discovery what your needs are, so we can really show you the right thing. But no, it cannot be tested like publicly, but we can arrange that for anyone who is interested.
You might have asked, you might have answered this one already, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How do you define ROI, return on investment, on automations? You've shown something, but do you have anything to elaborate, or do you think you've covered it?
The first thing that comes to my mind, and that's the straightforward, is the time. Because if there is a process, the process takes some time. If you enhance it, or if you replace some of the parts with automation or AI, you know pretty well, and you can see how much time it saves, because something that person do like a data analysis or preparation for a sales meeting. You have to look up the information about the company, you have to look at the data in the CRM, you have to look at the sales activities, blah, 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 blah. And you just, so then you spend like an hour, 2 hours to preparing for a call that will take like 30 minutes or so. So this is like one of the examples. So that's like a straightforward getting the ROI, meaning so this is how much time it can save, and you just know how much you just get the estimation of how long it takes to create it and how much it costs, and then you just compare those together. So that's the one perspective, the time, and the other one is the same like if you are replacing a tool or if you are making some structural change. Based on the process is giving you something, right? You have, or you should have at least, indicators which shows you that the process is working properly, which can be a bunch of different stuff. That can be kind of general, like a scrap rate, quality assurance, I don't know, quickness of merge request, let's say, or it can be something super specific, like getting cutting to the chase, and this basically also creates a value for you.
2 more questions. This one is, it's phrased in a difficult manner. Just give me a second. Basically, how to deal with people who are afraid that AI will take their job. Can we address that somehow?
Can you say one? So can you repeat it, please?
How to work with people that are afraid that AI will take their job. So basically, what do you call them? Retractors, or what's the word for people that are just trying to sabotage utilizing AI? Basically, trying to sabotage everything you stand for.
That's a question that's actually targeting the change management perspective, I believe, because that's exactly how it should be handled. Like you mentioned it, they are kind of like detractors in sort of way, and to be afraid of AI is the same like be afraid of any other change. So I would just use I'm using the change management practice. So understand the person, understand what are his pains and needs, and demonstrate what it means actually to implement AI or to have AI next to him. And if you do that, you kind of give him like a reality check, because even though there is a lot of FOMO around, a lot of buzz around AI, I don't really believe it will be replacing people. It will be helping people to do more meaningful stuff, basically. So if you, for example, would ask me, are you a salesperson? I will talk about salesperson. But if someone from customer success or development would ask me that, I would address what is the significance that he's bringing to the table, which is the context, the history, the ability to communicate with teams, to be creative, to address complex solutions, and to think out of the box. And like that, I would probably try to show him what the reality looks like. And if you are good at it, you can actually show that AI is great, but it's still a little dumb in some cases, and it basically does what you tell it to do. I don't know. I was long, but it's kind of tough questions. Individual approach, definitely individual approach. Find what people needs are. Basically, show him the reality. Show him that there is nothing to be afraid of. Open the closet and show him, this is a tool that you can use, right? I don't know if it's great to say, but it's like, I'm afraid that the hammer will break my head. No, look, the hammer can help you hit nails. I don't know if that was a good expression or not, but
It's a little aggressive, but I get the point. Where was most impact? So I guess what was the most impactful change, automation, optimization? I'm not sure if it is meant like for you or for the company, but you can pick.
I'm a little petrified right now because since I'm focused on the whole global scale, it's just challenging to pick one because basically my goal is to do like a deep dive in every team and make sure it's success. That's basically my job. But as I already mentioned, the development probably because in development it really addressed all the aspects what you are expecting. It addressed the needs of the people. So basically now it's kind of like a running joke. Okay, who's gonna do the code review? Yeah, our AI buddy. Like, good luck, man. Just give me the results and I can review them. So that's the personal part. And as I mentioned, we have quite a lot of people in development, so a lot of people benefit from it. Yeah, so probably development and managers as well. And again, I'm talking from my perspective because the time the managers spend on just looking into stuff, reporting, finding the data, and then think about it. You spend a couple of hours to just get the data, and then you have to make decisions. I would say that on a personal level.
Okay, we have one more question from someone in the audience, which is gonna close out the webinar. Real quick, just my quick question, if you don't mind, real short. You said that, for example, some AI agent is doing the code review. Just a quick question for my interest. If this AI agent screws up, like, how do you deal with accountability? Is there like one person who's responsible for the AI agent, and if the AI agent gives a poor outcome, then they hold the accountability?
This it's very similar to the custom development. I like to put these like next to each other because AI eventually AI gonna stop giving you bad answers once it's production. If it's done properly and right, you do enough iterations and enough validation, enough piloting and testing, so you can like fine tune the solution. And no, we do not hold the people who came with the idea responsible. Usually we hold responsible developers, these guys, right? That's usually what sales. That's usually the sales approach, like guys for sales.
We're 53 minutes in. We can be a little bit what do you call not radical. What's
yeah, no, that's kind of like a running joke, right?
Yep.
Everything is fault of a development. Now, so yeah, so we basically hold responsible or not responsible. We share responsibility. We build the solution together, and we are doing the maintenance, of course, and we're gathering feedback along the running operations. But yeah, as I mentioned, once you do the deployment and development process right, that's why we have stages we have dedicated stages and a precise strict workflow that we are following when deploying. We are starting with piloting. Then we go to basically assisted operations, which means that you are still doing the work, you just using the AI or the workflow for it. So you click the button, you will see the results. So you have first-hand experience, how it looks, you can give straight feedback, and you can basically wave the flag and do it yourself. And if that is successful, then it's go to monitor it, meaning just looking at the executions, and then it is independent and sustainable.
And I asked for the short answer. I wonder what would
Sorry,
happen
I'm sorry.
Didn't do that.
Sorry, I mean, but you mentioned it, right? Or I told you before that your goal here also is to keep me on the surface.
That is true. So that's my accountability.
Yeah.
I broke it. All right. So last question. You've got like, I don't know, just a couple of minutes. So keep it. A question by Stephanie. Hello. Is it possible to take with Easy8 transcripts from meetings in Teams and update the status and task on a project in Easy Redmine to update the project timeline? So like a lengthy one, but just what's your initial response?
Yes.
Now you can elaborate a little bit. Now you're allowed to do so.
Yes. And it's often it's a use case that we see often, and it's not about Teams, but in like a general, getting the transcript and updating. this already I can see it's more complex workflow because there is a, you have to kind of explain the agent, okay, what are you looking for? So there are ways how to help it. But yes, it is possible. It is quite challenging because since I'm also developing, I'm usually getting the feedback from the sales guy. Hey, be more brave in that, but I like to manage the expectations. So getting the transcript from Teams is hell, but we can do it. And we can do it. So basically, I believe the use case would be like, okay, we are in a meeting, we're having like a huddle or something. We say a bunch of stuff, and then we just want the AI to take the transcript, go through it, update project, update tasks, all of that is possible.
And if Stephanie on the other side is probably using Easy Redmine and she wants to start exploring it a little bit more, what would be the next step? Account manager and Easy8 consultant?
Yeah, I would say if this is straightforward, because this is a great use case, and I'm pretty sure that Stephanie already think about it. Let's get on the discovery call and let's talk
contact
about
whoever she knows at Easy Software, and they will direct them to the correct person, and you will be able to have like a 30-minute discovery call to see what's possible, how quickly, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but nice. As I know our sales team, she probably doesn't have to do that because someone's going to find her because she asked the question.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And then I'll do this, which officially means that we are very close to the end of this webinar. So what I want to do is I want to thank everyone on the other side of that webcam over there. Like I said, this was being recorded, so the recording will be available. This was first of many within the series, like 7 or 8 webinars, wasn't it?
Five or six, but sales guys always overselling.
Yeah, go over the top. They all know my point of view and my stance because I was asking the questions. Just 2 closing sentences from your side before we have our technical guy click the end screen.
Understand that the AI and automations can have a great impact. It can be done very fast, and the only thing that you need to do is to just know what you're trying to achieve, find a use case, and if you need any help, just hit us and we can do a quick discovery call. Not trying to really sell anything here, but really just the discovery call can really open your eyes to see what is possible.
And if you guys have spent 54 or whatever minutes with us because you already have AI agents, thank you for that. If you've spent that without having AI agents, that's even more so valuable and even more so appreciated. And thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Lucas.
Gonna go grab coffee?
Yeah, let's go. Thank you, guys. Bye.